Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to hold B-side post plant on Dust 2 as a T in CS2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. By the way, we are doing free giveaways every month. In these giveaways, you can win various CS2 skins and free CS2 course access passes created by a Faceit level 10 coach who has experience in high tier CS2 teams. To sign up, simply visit the CS2 Pulse giveaway page and follow the instructions. Link is in the description. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's begin by talking about the main and the most common positions that Ts love to play in post plant. Let's begin by talking about B-box. This is one of the most common positions that Ts love to play in post plant situations. This position is very effective because you can help out your teammates from several different angles. Originally, the B-box position is meant for holding double doors. Usually, B-box players just stand like so and hold double doors. However, they are also covered from tunnel, and this large box on top of B-side's default is also protecting you from window. However, this position is also very effective because it's very supportive. For example, if you're holding double doors and your teammate who is watching window needs help, then you can instantly peek left like so. Or instead, if your teammate who's holding tunnels needs help as well, then you can just peek to the right and peek tunnel like so. This is why this position is the best if you want to play in a retake. In a retake situation, one of you definitely needs to play in this spot in order to have the most info and help your teammates out as much as you can. The only downfall of playing in B-box is if you get mollied and you have no smoke, then you need to jump out and you become very open to several positions. For example, if an opponent from tunnel mollies you, then you usually need to jump down towards site. Whilst you jump, the CT can spot you like so, or you can be visible from window, or the double door player can even catch you on timing by peeking. I found that the best solution if you get mollied is just to try and peek tunnel and try to get the kill, since most of the time, if no one is watching tunnel, ideally you should just peek with your right without crouching, because you can have a very good kill and then you can maybe try and run back or run forward. However, another solution is if you peek window, clear like so and then move a bit back. However, if you stand here, you will have to micromanage window and tunnel at the same time. That's why it becomes very difficult to defend the site. So in my opinion, the best way to get out of that situation is just to peek tunnel, or you can shift towards site. If someone is definitely watching tunnel for you, you can also just position yourself close to these barrels or in default. If tunnel is smoked, you can also move towards right. You can even jump up the edge of this box quickly, however make sure that someone is watching window because you are open to it. Another really common position is standing in the corner close to double door. This position is also very good because not only can you hold double doors, you can also assist your teammates by checking window at the same time. So if CTs decide to push at the same time, then you can hold double doors and you can also check window. The only downfall of this position is that if you do get pushed from tunnel, you might have to flick and micromanage two of the angles at the same time. That's why you do need a player like, for example, the B-box player to hold tunnel. Instead of playing close to double door, you can also play behind car. However, it is very risky since it's a very common position and CTs love to molly or nade it. That's why if you do stand here, make sure you are not low HP so you don't get killed instantly. If you have a smoke, you are a bit safer in case you get mollied. However, in my opinion, it's still better to play here. You can even play on the opposite side. Standing here is even better. Even if you're not watching window, you're still way less open, and then you can also hold tunnel at the same time. If you're in a post plant position and you have the op, the best position for you to play is usually playing sniper's box. This position is usually the best because simply is the most long range position that you can hold in a post plant situation, and you are also covered behind the box if you crouch. However, keep in mind the further away you are, the more your head becomes visible to enemies. That's why if you do decide to crouch, you might need to lower your head down just in case so you don't get spotted. Another benefit of this position is if you move to the left, you can also assist your teammates if people from double door are pushing. Another very good and common position that T's play usually every round in a post plant situation is behind this box. This box is very good because you can hold window and also you are covered from every single other angle that CTs can push through, and you can also check tunnel, which is a very good idea, since if you get pushed from tunnel, you can just micromanage these two angles. From default, you can also play another position. You can stand behind this box. Since you are covered from tunnel, you can focus towards window, and you are as well spotting double door, so if you do see someone pushing from double door, you can micromanage these two angles. However, do keep in mind that if CTs push at the same time, you might need to crouch and then kill this opponent before you spot this one, and you might even get caught like so, because CTs can spam you through the box, or they can even push you out and spot an angle where your head is visible. Since when you crouch, your head does still become visible. It's only a matter of if your teammates are alive and able to trade you out. The worst position that I see a lot of my teammates play and use is this position. This position is very bad if no one is holding tunnel. If no one is holding tunnel, then you should definitely not play in this position, because this position has the slight gap where CTs who are pushing tunnel can spot you instantly, and the gap is way smaller for you than it is for the CTs since you are closer to the gap. That's why if you play in this position, make sure that someone is watching tunnel. If someone is though, this position is a very good position since you can hold double door and peek towards window at the same time, which is a very good way to micromanage these two angles by having cover. If you want to go for a very off-angled position that CTs usually don't expect, you should jump up this box and hold double door like so. Just make sure it's not mollied. This position is also pretty good since you can hear the sound from tunnel if CTs are pushing, and you can also watch double door and window at the same time. However, do keep in mind that when CTs peek out, they can only see your head. That's why it becomes way easier for them to kill you. It's only a matter if you hit the bullets first or the CT headshots you instantly. That's why keep in mind that if you are in full HP and the CT might be playing with an M4, then you might be in trouble. There are some extra positions that Ts love to play in outside of B side. For example, Ts love to play in this corner or camp in this corner, just so they can catch the lurkers from CT who are going towards tunnel. After they got the kill or they fully cleared and they see that the clock is ticking on the bomb and no one is pushing, that means usually that no one is here and the CT is just fully committed towards double doors and window. Then the T can just back off and assist his teammates by holding window from tunnel, and he can also peek out double door. If you have a tunnel player and he sees no one, instead of going back to site, he can also push towards middle. That way he can catch the CTs off guard. Even if CTs are already pushed into site, you can still push from behind and get some kills. Ideally, in a post plant situation, you should definitely call for your teammates what info you hear. Even if you are playing in car, there is a huge benefit to this position. If you hear enemies that are walking towards lower tunnel or tunnel in general, then you can call for your team and whoever is holding tunnel can just instantly focus towards it. Now let's talk about some positions that Ts shouldn't play at all in a post plant situation. This corner is one of the worst positions that I see Ts playing in a retake. The main reason for it is because you're very open towards double doors and window, and you might get peeked at the same time. Not only that, you don't have any cover at all. That means you might have to run away towards tunnel where you can spot another enemy if a CT decides to go towards lower. Playing on this box is also very bad, since if you play on it, you are very open to a lot of positions. The only benefit is that it is an off angle, and CTs who might be pushing towards site and not expecting you to be here already, then you might catch them on timing and then it might be a good position. However, after you get the first kill, you should instantly rather drop off towards tunnel or jump into car. No matter with what weapon you are playing, you shouldn't play on this position. Unless you have very good aim and you're very confident, then you might catch them off guard if you're standing here. However, it is a very difficult position since it's a very long ranged one and you're just trying your luck by catching them off guard. If you know that tunnel is clear, this position might be useful in some scenarios. However, there are way more positions that I showed you that you should definitely play out instead. Another very weak position that you should definitely not play in is on top of this box and window. This position is very risky. The only benefit of it is that you have a lot of sound from the side of CT, so if you hear them pushing towards double doors or window, you can call. However, if you don't have a teammate who can flash for you, or you don't have a teammate who is holding window or tunnel, then you might get caught in a very awkward scenario, because you have to look at tunnel and double doors at the same time, and then you have to flick towards window. So in my opinion, a way better position is to drop down here. That way you at least have some ground and you can stand safely and not be paranoid about window too much if someone is holding it. However, this position is also very open and it's a very risky one, so in my opinion, instead just play default. If your teammates have smokes in a post plant scenario, they should definitely smoke rather double door, or they can smoke tunnel. If they're playing from B-box, they can just aim above this arc and then throw it. These smokes will give you some ground, and then you can even stand in a bit more open positions. However, keep in mind that CTs might spam for the smoke and also catch you, so don't be too open, or at least be open in positions that are not expected and a bit less common. Usually people from this position play with the AK, same goes from this position since it's a very close range angle. Players who play behind B-box can also hold with the op since they can micromanage double doors and window and tunnel at the same time, since they have a pretty decent range against them. However, if you do get pushed and you don't have a lot of teammates alive, then it becomes very difficult to hold these angles. That's why in my opinion playing in this position with the op is still way better, since you can still defend the side even if you have 1 or 0 teammates alive. From this position, if you see no one in tunnel, you can quickly peek window as well to check the position. Then you can micromanage more towards double door, and you can hold this angle since CTs usually peek out and they don't move instantly towards the left side like so. CTs from double door mainly prefer wide peeking towards this area. That's why if you stand here, you will definitely spot them as they peek out double door. In my opinion, the best way to improve on holding post plant situations is by playing retake servers. You can simply join any server that you like. You can find them on Google or any other sites, and then you can join them and practice. These servers give a real game atmosphere and really help you improve. That's why I really suggest you play them if you want to improve on these scenarios. Thank you everyone for watching the video. This was how to hold B-side post plant on Dust 2 as a T in CS2. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down in the comments below on what you want us to do next, and I'll see you in the next video.